All right, this is going to be a fairly quick review. We're going to talk about what's going to be on the equations assessment that is coming up. Um, you're going to have some one-step equations. You're going to have some two-step equations. You're going to have some multi-step equations where you have variables on both sides. But this is kind of a reward for actually going back and watching this video. You will know exactly what's going to be on this thing. So there really is no excuse for being ready for this. So let's walk through it. Now, some of the questions that I'm going to go over, actually all the questions that I go over, they're not necessarily going to be in this order, but I just wanted to make you aware of what is exactly going to be on it, okay? So, for example, the very first one that I have listed is going to look something like this, just negative 3x equals, I don't know, negative 15. Okay, that's a multiplication, so we're going to divide by negative 3. Divide by negative 3, x equals positive 5. Just a little simple one-step equation, okay? Just make sure that you understand what inverse operations are. If it's multiplying, you have to divide to solve, and so on. That might not seem like a lot, but that is very, very important. The mistakes are going to be typing it in, okay? They're going to forget the negatives. They're going to forget stuff like that. So please make sure that you have that. That one is not going to be multiple choice. That one's actually going to be, you're going to have to fill in the blank. You're actually going to have to type out what your answer is, okay? All right. Majority of these are not going to be multiple choice. Just letting you know. Okay, you're actually going to have to solve it. Second one, it's going to look a little bit like this. You're going to have 3 parentheses. Let's go 2x minus 6. Kind of, let's say, plus 2x equals 4 parentheses x minus 5. Hopefully this works out, okay? Now, I know we went from a one-step equation into this, but like I said, this could be in any different order. So it doesn't really matter. We want you to be able to solve it regardless of what pops up, okay? We're not going to go one step to two step to, we're not going to go from easiest to hardest. It's going to be a pretty big mixture, okay? If you see this, you see there's obviously distributed property on both sides. 3 times 2x, that's 6x. 3 times negative 6 is negative 18. This drops down, positive 2x. I'm not even going to worry about the right side yet until I get the left side simplified, okay? 6x plus 2x, that is 8x minus 18. There's nothing else I can do, so I'm just going to hold tight. All right, here we go. So we've got 4 times x, that is 4x. 4 times negative 5, that's negative 20. Okay? So now, you know, the students, we talked about it, put the variables on one side. We go letters left, numbers right. So I'm going to put, okay, this is good. 8x is okay. The 18 needs to go over here. So positive 18, negative 4x, negative 20. Okay? If it crosses that line, remember the signs have to change. So now we've got 4x equals negative 2. We divide by 4. Divide by 4, x equals negative 1/2. Now, I don't think any of your answers are going to be fractions. It's just, like I said, I made this one up, so that's just the way it came out, okay? But just understand, please, this is the big part of this. Number 1, pay attention to your signs when you're distributing. Number 2, make sure that you put your letters on the left side, numbers on the right side. But before you do that, you want to make sure that everything is simplified before you start moving stuff around, okay? Simplify both sides. Okay. Number 3 is going to be kind of the same thing, but it's going to be what's called an error analysis. There's a question that's going to say where is the mistake. So you're going to have to find the mistake that this person made. Okay. So let's say that I did this and I put negative 18 over here. Well, you would tell me that negative 18 is the incorrect one, and it would be labeled as she didn't change the signs on the 18. Okay. It's pretty obvious, but you're going to have to find the mistake. Okay. You're going to have to find the mistake for number 3. All right, here we go. Number 4. Number 4 is just a two-step equation. Two-step equation. It looks like negative 3x minus 7 equals 11. Pretty simple. I'm going to add 7 to both sides, so I get negative 3x equals 18. Divide by negative 3, divide by negative 3, x equals negative 6. You will have to actually type that in. You will actually have to type that in, okay? 5th one, same thing. But now you're going to have distributed property. Okay, so now you're going to have to distribute, but it turns into a two-step equation. So 2x minus 5 equals, I don't know, 6. I'm just making these up as I go. So we distribute 2x minus 10 equals 6. Now it's just a two-step equation. Okay. What is the solution to that? Good. Next one, same thing, sort of the same thing. So now you've got another one that looks like that, but they're going to add like minus 6 equals 12. So now they're going to distribute 2x minus 10 minus 6. So now we've got to combine that and get 2x minus 16 equals 12, and then we solve it. Plus 16, 2x equals 28, x equals 4, or x equals 14 because I divided by 2. Okay. Oh, another one. This one's got a fraction. Okay, a fraction. If we're talking about inverse operations, a fraction is division. So the opposite of division is multiplication. So we're going to multiply when we do this. So we've got negative 15 equals x over, let's say 4 plus 6. Okay, and it's going to be like this. It's going to be backwards. Listen, if you want to put equals negative 15 on the other side just to make it easier when you're solving it, please, by all means, do that, okay? Please do that. But I'm just going to solve it like this. This is what I'm solving for, so I'm going to move the 6 first. I'm going to go minus 6 on both sides. So now I've got negative 21 equals x over 4. Okay, and this is what we talked about in my class. Now, it could be a little bit different in Miss Wells' class next door. But the opposite of dividing by 4 is multiplying by 4. So I'm just going to multiply across, bring that down. So x equals negative 84. X equals negative 84. You just multiply across. Okay. Are we good? I hope so. Now, the last one, you're going to get a bunch of problems. There's going to be 3 different problems, okay? These are actually going to be pretty lengthy, okay? What you're going to do is you're going to determine whether it has no solution, one solution, or infinite solutions, okay? So you got to remember what it is with no solution, one solution, infinite solution. If the x's don't cancel, if you end up with x equals anything, that is one solution. So if you solve the problem and it gets down to x equals 5, that means, excuse me, that means there's one solution. That means the answer is 5. X equals 5, okay? Now, to have no solutions, if we're talking about no solutions, that means that the x's cancel, or the y's, or whatever variable. It doesn't have to be x. It could be any variable. On the test, it's all going to be x, so you don't have to worry about it, but it could be any variable. Your variables cancel, and you get a false statement. And what I mean by false is that you end up with numbers that are like 0 equals negative 8. For example, 0 does not equal negative 8. That would be no solution. There is nothing you can put in there, okay? That is no solution. If the x's cancel, and you're left with a true statement, that's where you get infinite solutions. In other words, 6 equals 6, or 0 equals 0, or whatever. If you get a true statement, if you get a number that equals that number, that is a true statement. What that means, you're going to have infinite solutions, which means you can put any number you want. So the last part of that, well, I don't know if it's going to be the last part on your test, but just the way it printed out for me. You're going to have 3 questions, and it's not going to ask you to solve it. It's going to ask you to identify no solution, one solution, infinite solutions. So you need to know how to do that, okay? If the variables do not cancel, it is one solution. Okay, if they do cancel and it's false, it's no solution. Okay, and if they do cancel and it's true, then it's infinite solutions. Okay, that is the entire test. Okay, if you need to, go back, watch this again, pause it, see what I do, see what I'm talking about. Make sure you have your head wrapped around this. That's the thing about YouTube. Go back, watch it again. Watch it again. Make sure that you have it, okay? Come see me if you need to. Come see me during advisory. And we can get some work done, okay? This is quiz number one, this is assessment number one for equations. This one does count. This one is weighted, so it is going to matter, okay? So you want to score well. You can make these scores up, okay? You will have an opportunity. It's okay. If you don't score well, it's fine, but I want you to score well the first time so you don't have to worry about it, okay? Come see me if you have questions.